Hello everyone, welcome back to Creatively Teaching. If you are new here, my name is Emily and we talk about all things related to teaching, whether you are an online teacher, in-person teacher, substitute teacher, we talk about it all. So today's video is a really interesting one and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the company Preply. I recently just became a tutor for them. I have not taught my first class yet, but I want to give you some information just so you know about this company and you might want to have it in your back pocket. So the company that I think Preply is most similar to is italki. You don't need a bachelor's degree, you don't need a certification, and you actually don't even need any teaching experience. You get to set your pay rates as what you would like, and then Preply takes 33% of that, and then it decreases the more amount of hours that you teach. Hopefully that makes sense. So while I think 33% is a lot, they provide the platform for you. They also provide materials for teaching, which I think is really great. And you can also assign homework and give flashcards and all kinds of stuff to your students. So I think it's reasonable considering platforms like OutSchool, they take 30% and they don't provide you with any lesson materials. Now, Preply does recommend that you use a mix of their materials and some of your own class materials. So if you have websites that you like to use like ESL library, I think that would be really good to use in conjunction, or if you like to make really fun slideshows or things like that, because you can screen share in order to teach the lesson. Now, as far as my understanding goes, you can use the Preply Classroom, but just like italki, you can also use things like Skype or Zoom platforms to teach on. Now, the one thing that I am not a fan of is that Preply takes all of your commission that you would make from a trial class, so you're really pushed to sell packages to students. It seems that most classes are around an hour long, but you can definitely do more or less. You just discuss that with your student and you can set it up that way. So I think that's pretty cool. Obviously, you can imagine the cheaper that your class is, the more trial students you might get, but I have mine set at $16 an hour, which I think is reasonable, especially after they'll take 33% from that. I do think it's a little scary knowing that you can get a trial student and then they don't sign up and then you kind of taught a class for free, but that's just how the platform works. So you definitely want to be the best that you can be during that class and to get the student to buy packages of classes. Now, you can only choose one subject to teach, but you can also list other ones on your profile. So I just have English on mine. I have my proficiency in Chinese language as well listed on there, but I just only teach English on there. You can definitely teach more than one thing. You just have to have it in your profile, and then the students will see that, and then you can discuss with them about that. I really like the flexibility of the platform. You can teach as many or as little hours as you want, but just keep in mind the more hours that you teach, the less commission that Preply will take away from you and the more money you get to keep for yourself. They also have some really cool features on the platform, and I'm definitely going to go over those with you. I'll try to answer as many questions that you might have as possible, so let's get into the screen share of my laptop so I can show you a little bit about the platform.
Hi everyone, excuse my voice, I'm a little bit sick, but I wanted to show you how Preply works. So this is what it looks like on the Preply calendar, and you can see the days that I have blocked off. You can see students that have booked. You can see my availability is here in the white. And what's really cool about Preply is that you get to choose your price that you want the students to pay. And they do take a percentage of it, but the more classes and students that you teach, the less percentage that they take. What's really cool is that they have this statistics button, and I want to show you guys what this looks like. So when I go to statistics, I can see how many people have viewed my profile. That's really crazy, actually, 705 profile views. And that's because yesterday, based on my activity, maybe, I don't know, there's a few different factors that go into your profile position, but I'm number 42, which is insane. So I've been anywhere from like 800 up to like 1400 in profile position. So I'm starting to get a lot of messages from potential students, which is awesome. So right now I'm charging $20 for my hourly rate. I'm looking to go at about 22 or 24 here soon. You can see the percentage of English lessons that were booked at $20 or above, and you could play around with this. A lot of people recommend that you start with a lower rate and then you get more students and then you can up this rate, and yes, those students will have to eventually pay that price. Now, the one thing that I don't like about this is that you don't get paid for trial lessons. So you have an hour where you're teaching a student and you don't get paid at all for that hour. So that's like the only really big con that I can see. You can see all kinds of achievements here, how much I've earned. So today I'm actually teaching my first class where I'm really going to get paid for that, and I can see that easily in the calendar here. So the way that this goes is I set up my availability and I can add time off. And the other thing is that when I set up my availability, I can also see like how far out I want them to book. I can choose different times. Let me see if I can get to that so I can show you. All right, when I go to lesson booking, you can see that I have advance notice and you can change the time here for how many hours notice that you want before the lesson is booked. Right now I have it at 1 day just because I'm not feeling well, but typically I put it at 6 hours notice. The booking window, I also have it as 2 weeks in advance because I don't know my schedule that far in advance because I'm a substitute teacher. However, I'm starting to really like this platform and I think that I might end up teaching here a lot more. So I might do like 2 days of teaching on Preply and 3 days of substitute teaching each week. So I've already showed you the statistics and also the calendar and how you set up your availability and how you can also set up time off, which is really easy. You could just block off the entire day, which is cool. These are the hours that I have opened. And then here is the Academy button. Now this is really cool because this gives you all of the information that you might want or need about Preply, and you can do all of these different courses, take a quiz on it, and it definitely has you set up to learn everything that you can about the platform. Now going back to the platform, let's look at the messages feature. So it's really important that you get back to your messages, and I always respond to every single message. They can make your profile invisible. You can personally hide your profile if you want, and you can block students, which is pretty cool. I love that because if you get anybody creepy on there, you know what I mean. So you can teach adults and kids, and the way you have your profile set up, I think, is very, very important. Now, you can add languages that you speak and what level you speak at, and then you have your photo, your description, video, subjects, background, and there's so much information that you can add here. So here I put how much experience I have tutoring these subjects, and this is really important because depending on what students are looking for, I think they can filter and see, oh, I need someone who can teach SAT writing, which I don't have any experience in that, but then they can find a suitable tutor for them to help them with that. Another really cool thing about the messaging feature is that when I go to message a student, I can see exactly what time it is for them. I love that they have this feature. So when a student is booking with you, they add the different goals that they want, and you can also have them take a quiz, which will show you where they are in their learning journey. The other cool thing is that Preply has a ton of learning plans already for you. I think they set them up with a lesson plan, and then this is going to be the classroom that you can test out. And it's really cool. So they actually break everything down for you, and you're going to see this in the classroom. You're going to have the placement test reminder that you can send to your students to remind them, and then you can go over the answers, see what they had difficulties with, and then they'll give you the actual lesson material, and then you can use that. You can also use your own lesson plans. I have students that bring their own lesson materials to class, and we go through that together. So those are just some ideas. Now let me show you what my video looks like and what I look like in the classroom. Okay, so this is what I look like in the classroom here. Sorry for the sound difference. I actually put a blanket over so you can hear me better with my microphone. I have this as my setup. I think it works really well for kids and adults. And I could test everything here in the classroom. You can send confetti to the student, which is kind of cool when they're doing a good job, and I think this works really well for kids. You have all of your settings here. You can schedule lessons right in the classroom as well. I can share my screen, and I just think this is all really amazing. So you open up these activities and the students can see them as well, and then you can go through the lesson plans together. So they really have it broken down very simply for you. I can quickly go to vocab and go through the cards with the student. I can also take notes on the student here during the lesson, and then they can see this, but I also have my private notes that I can use as well. They will see this for next time. I always make sure I try to give them some kind of homework, and then we have the chat box. Now the chat box in the classroom will just be between the student and I use this a lot as well to communicate in case they have a hard time understanding what I'm saying. Also, while in the classroom, I can go to the library and I can choose any kind of topic that I want and bring this up in the classroom for the students. So I think that's really, really great. I will know typically what their English level is at, so then I will click on one of these and then I will help them. Now, if you're teaching another language besides English, it'll be very similar, but I know that they have a lot of content for English teachers, but maybe not so much if you are teaching other languages. I do think this platform is very similar to italki, but I like this a lot better because italki doesn't give you any kind of lesson materials that I know of, but this platform gives you lesson materials. So if you are afraid of that, they will give you lesson materials, they will help you assign homework and all that stuff. So I think that's really, really helpful. Okay, again, going back to the calendar, you can do either half hour like you see here today, or you can do 1 hour lessons. And I'm not entirely sure if they can book more than that, maybe. And then here's my time off that I have blocked for this week just because Christmas is coming up and I'm not going to be teaching during that time. I can go to my lessons to see the lessons that I have coming up and what the prices are per hour. So when I first started, I had it at $16 per hour, and my student can see that, and he had already booked lessons at that price. But here I can go and I can change the price so that he could see the price has gone up. However, I don't think I'm going to do that with him just because I've already set this price with him. I know it's kind of hard to do, but we already have a student here that's a trial. The first class with them will be free, and Preply does take 100% of that, which again is the only con that I really have. But I'm very confident in my teaching ability, and hopefully these students come back, and that's very important to me. Again, it's really important for you to message the student back really quickly because they can make your profile invisible if you're not responding quickly. The other cool thing that you can do is you can find students. So clicking on find students, I can look and see what these students are looking for and if I might be the right teacher for them. And then I can apply to be their teacher, they can see my profile, and that's just another really fun way. But right now, I'm just letting the students come to me. But yeah, I hope these tips were really helpful for you and so you can see a little bit of the Preply platform. I don't think that Preply has a referral program for tutors. If they do, I'll put the link in the description box below, but I'm not sure that they have it.
Thank you so much for watching my video today about Preply. If you have any further questions, please leave them down below in the comments. Remember to hit the like and subscribe button for more A+ advice, and I will see you in the next video.